You've got to watch this clip of Mosab Hassan Yousef, the son of a Hamas co-founder and leader, smashing the false narratives we hear about the nakhba, the Arab displacement that occurred in 1948. The conventional wisdom is the Jews came to the land, they kicked everyone out. Actually, it's very different to that. And Mosab Yousef has a first-hand witness, his own grandmother. Have a watch at what he says to a group of, I believe, students.
The nakhba, the ethnic cleansing, the genocide, all this type of allegations is the failing attempt of the loser that wants to turn defeat into something else. It's a culture that is based on honor and shame, not right and wrong. It's very shameful, and it has been for the Arab leaderships to just accept defeat. And if you don't accept defeat, you can never know victory, by the way. So they call it a nakhba. It's a disaster. But who's responsible for that disaster? Was it the Arab miscalculation when Israel was extremely outnumbered and they came with this inflated Arabian ego, thinking that they are going to make the Jews into a food of the fish of the sea? They used to say, you know Arabic, تَجَوَّعْ يَا سَمَكَ الْبَحْرِ. This was the slogan, marching towards to annihilate the Jewish people. It was a big shock. My grandmother was asked to evacuate her farm as hundreds of thousands of Arabs left their farms because the Arab armies told them, you must evacuate. After we cleanse the land of the Jews, you can return to your homes. I don't need the United Nations to come educate me about anything because my grandmother is an eyewitness and she gave me her experience. This is what they told her. This is why she left her farm, because she was afraid to get caught up in the war. And the Arabs lost the war, and my grandmother never returned back to her farm. But you know what's amazing? My grandmother started her life again in the village of Bir Zayt near Ramallah and was able to start over and be very successful, sent all her children to get education. And what's remarkable about her? She never spoke anything bad about Israel. She never used the term nakhba. She never used the term occupation or colonialism. For her, it was a loss, and I think deep in her soul, she knew that the Arab armies misguided the entire population, Arab population. They weren't Palestinians at that time. So when we talk about nakhba, catastrophe, whatever they want to name it, it's just a concept. Who's responsible for that, in my opinion? The Arab arrogance.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mosab is a brave man, and I would love to speak to his grandmother. I don't know if she's still alive. But what a crazy story that is. To then have, I don't know whether it would be a son or a son-in-law that was a co-founder of Hamas, and then the grandson who's now supporting the cause of Israel. But let's be clear, Mosab is validating and exposing the truth that so many want to deny. The conventional wisdom, we're told, is the Jews came to land and ripped out the Arabs, the indigenous Arabs, from their land. And that's what Israel is, a rogue terror state. Actually, the Jews always maintained a presence there since their last kingdom 2,000 years ago. They slowly returned in greater numbers in the 1800s. By the mid-1800s, Jerusalem was majority Jewish. And their return was all done through legal purchasing. And then after the Holocaust, the United Nations voted to partition the land. Well, they said, let's re-establish a Jewish state and we'll create another Arab state, even though there's never been an Arab state there before. But there was no displacement that occurred, no great mass displacement that occurred. When did the displacement occur? When the surrounding Arab armies said, we cannot accept and tolerate a Jewish state. Even if it's half the size that Israel is today, a tiny slice of nothing, we don't care. We're getting rid of the Jewish state. because it's an affront to our honor. It's an affront to our Islamic supremacist, supersessionist philosophy of how the world is meant, how history is meant to unfold. For the Jews who are second-class citizens, who are meant to be dhimmis, who are meant to be oppressed, to suddenly re-establish their home, what does that mean about our relationship with God and their relationship with God and their role in history and Judaism and the truth of it? Well, if God is showing favor on these wandering Jews who had wandered for so many centuries the earth, what does that mean? Maybe God never forsook the Jews. Well, no, that can't be. So the only other option is get rid of it, because it must be an evil state that we need to annihilate, and Allah is just testing us. It's a hateful philosophy that can't make space for the other. But Mosab Yousef boldly, clearly and explicitly states the truth, that the displacement that occurred, the issue of the Palestinians, even though it's really a made-up term that the leaders created as a ploy to create a movement that would get rid of Israel. But let's be clear, all the suffering that they've experienced has been self-inflicted from start to finish. And here he has a first-hand witness account that says this is the case. The surrounding Arab armies, by and large, said, just leave, and then we're going to kill all the Jews, and then you can come back into what will become maybe part of southern Syria and Jordan or whatever their plans were. The hysteria, the anger, the rage against Israel is because Israel lives. Because God has not forsaken the Jewish people. So what is the solution? The answer is that the Arabs and those who are against Israel around the world are going to have to grow up and accept the truth, because the Jewish people and Israel is not going anywhere. Even if we wanted to get rid of our identity and drop it all, we can't. We tried that in Europe and it didn't work. The Europeans said, stop trying to become like us. We know you're different. The Jewish people cannot escape their mission, because it is the very destiny of the world. It represents the very purpose of the world. And so the world can decide, are we going to come round to accepting this and learning from the Jewish people and understanding what this purpose is that the God of Israel has for the world, for every human being? Or are we going to continue to resist them? Well, when you resist the Jewish people, in the end, all you do, in the end, is bring more suffering to yourself. We need more Mosab Yousefs. We're finding them slowly but surely. But let's just at this stage appreciate the fact that we have someone so close to the hateful culture of Gaza and the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, among the Arabs or Palestinians. And yet he had the courage, the moral clarity, the truth-seeking determination to find the truth and stand for it. Thank you, Mosab. And if you care about the truth, if you care about persuading more and more people and sharing the truth and getting this message out there, please share this video, comment, because it helps get the video into the algorithm, comment with your thoughts, like the video, and if you're able to, click below this video, click the join button, and you can become a member of JTV, and you'll get special perks which you can see in the various membership options. But most critically, you're actually going to help us continue to grow and expand and push JTV out there and create more variety of content. And you'll partner with us in making this world a better place and a more godly place. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.